Hello everyone and welcome back to another coin roll hunting video. In today's video we'll be searching through $25 in pennies and nickels. Let's get into it. Alright, so I wanted to start off by explaining our hunt today. I went to the bank earlier today to try to pick up a box of nickels that I ordered, and the bank told me that they can't order boxes at this time because apparently they're having trouble getting shipments. But they did let me get 10 rolls of nickels and 10 rolls of pennies, so we got $20 here of nickels and $5 of pennies that we'll be hunting. And so I thought, since we have such a small amount of rolls, that I would just edge hunt all of them with you and talk about what I search for like I typically do with the first 5 rolls in my hunts. And then I'll go through the coins and set aside coins for errors and all of that off camera and bring you in if I find anything. So I guess let's get started. So to start things off, with edge hunting, what we're mainly looking for with nickels is for silver. So from 1942 to 1945, they made nickels called war nickels, and they are 35% silver. So if we look at the edge of a roll, here, let me grab a war nickel to show you. So this is a war nickel right here. This is a 1944. And if you look on the back, there's a mint mark above the building, so that's how you can tell. And this coin is darker than the average nickel, so if I put this in the roll, just like that, then you can see, didn't pick that up very well, but you can see it very clearly in there. So that's what we're looking for when we edge hunt. Let me take this out. Alright, so some of the things that I search for, I'll be setting aside anything that's pre-1962 for nickels, because they often have errors, and so I'll be hunting those coins specifically for errors. Anything old, so a buffalo nickel or a V nickel would be cool to find in this hunt. Especially, I mean, I'm pretty much good with anything we find, especially since it's only 10 rolls. Also, the 2020 W nickel would be cool to find. So W nickels are nickels from the West Point Mint. So in 2020, nickels were made from the West Point Mint, and they have a W mint mark on them. But they're really low mintage, and they're not intended for circulation. I also search for proof coins. And another thing that I search for is Henning Nickels, which are a type of counterfeit nickel that were made. And the main one that you can tell is on the 1944 version of it, because like I said, 1944 is a year that's supposed to be a war nickel, or a silver war nickel, and so the man who counterfeited it, Henning, he made a 1944 nickel, but it didn't have the mint mark above the building identifying that it was silver, so that's one of the ways you can tell that it's counterfeit. Also, we search for any foreign coins or things that are not supposed to be in the rolls, so I find a lot of Canadian nickels, and occasionally other foreign coins, or one of my last hunts I found a game token in a coin roll. So just anything interesting like that, stickered coins. I do have a book for nickels, but it's full and I don't really need any upgrades, so I won't be looking for any of that in this hunt. So let's see. So far I'm not seeing anything with the edge hunting, but see if we see any silver in these last 3 rolls here. Nothing in that one. And like I said, I'll go back through these and search for everything, like the W's and foreigns and all of that, because we're not going to necessarily see those by edge hunting, but it would be nice to get them all laid out first. Nothing there. And the last one, see if we got any silver. I hope we find something in these couple rolls. That would be pretty nice. And looks like nothing in that roll, on the edge at least. Alright, I'll bring you back if I find something. Alright, so I just finished going through the nickels and I didn't end up finding anything, and I only found 4 coins that were older than 1962, and I looked at them and didn't find anything, so I thought we'd move on to the pennies now. So I do have these 2 books for my pennies, and this book right here is full, but I do need some upgrades for it, and this one has some book fillers, and I do need the 1953 and 1954 wheat cent in this book. So that these are some of the things that we'll be looking for in this hunt for book fillers and upgrades. Alright, let's get into some rolls, and I'll talk a little bit about what I hunt for. So just like we did with the nickels, we'll do some edge hunting, see if there's anything that immediately stands out. As if I can get the roll open. There we go. So, some of the things that I hunt for in these hunts, the main thing that I feel like I find a lot of is wheat pennies, which are the penny before the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Also foreign coins, I find a lot of Canadian pennies in these hunts, and occasionally other foreign coins or tokens. Also steel pennies from World War II, because during World War II they needed copper, and so instead of making pennies out of copper, they used steel. Anything old, so like an Indian head cent or something like that, that's pre-Lincoln head cents would be super cool. I've never found any of that. I will be looking for a lot of air coins too. There's a channel called Georgia Silver Hunter, and he does a lot of coin roll hunts, and he has some really good coin roll hunting lists, so if you want to check out his lists, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. He has this penny mat that I'll be using to set aside my pennies, and then I'll look for errors. There's also the 2019 W penny, and just like the W nickel, it is also really low mintage and is not intended for circulation. So that would be pretty cool to find. And you also search for things like proof coins or just anything interesting or valuable. Alright, so let's get through these last 5 rolls, and then I'll cut, and we'll see. I'll bring you back in when we find something after that. And so far I'm not seeing anything. Sometimes when I edge hunt pennies, I'll see the main thing that stands out is like if there's a steel penny, you can often see that it's there, or if there's a Canadian cent, because some of the Canadian cent years, the coins aren't exactly rounded, they have flat edges, and so sometimes that stands out really well. But right now I'm not seeing anything. Let's see. Don't see anything there. 3 more rolls. And hopefully my bank will be able to get some boxes ordered soon. They did say that whenever I come in I can always get 10 more rolls of pennies and nickels, so I may do that a couple of times before I get a box, but we'll see. And also, if that's the case, I may try to get a few other denominations just to have some variety as well. So, because I don't usually order a box because they're more expensive to get a box of an entire box of quarters or dimes or half dollars. So, and at my bank you can't order boxes of half dollars either. So, but let's see. Last roll. Do we have anything right away? I don't see anything. Alright, so I'll bring you back in when I find something. Alright everyone, we have our first find of the hunt. I'm glad that we found something. This coin here, I already had a look at it because I couldn't read the date, but it's a 1952D, which means it's a wheat cent. So let me flip it over and show you the reverse. There you go. See if I can get that on camera. It's really dirty and crusty, but it is a wheat cent and it is a find, and I'm glad that we found something in these 10 rolls. So we'll see. I've got 5 more rolls left, so we'll see if I find anything else in the last 5 rolls of the hunt. Alright, I just spread out roll 8, and we have another wheat cent right here. Right here is a 1953D. Too bad it's not a 1953P, because that's a book filler, but it's still a wheat cent, so I'll take it. Alright, I just made it to the end of the rolls, and we have our 2 wheat cents, which is not too bad of finds. I am going to go through some coins that I've set aside to look for errors, and I'll bring you back in for the wrap-up after that. But I did want to say one more thing real fast. For this, somebody just commented on my last video and told me that the 1965 through 67 years, they didn't have mint marks on the coins, which I did not know this. So I really appreciate you guys letting me know. The coin book that I have was my great-grandpa's, and then it was passed down to my grandpa, and then he gave it to me. And so those dates were just written in, and so I didn't realize that that was a thing. So I really appreciate that you guys let me know. So I'll be crossing off all of these. So that means we really only have these 2 book fillers for that book left. So that's exciting. I'll bring you back in if I find anything else in the errors, and then I'll bring you in for a wrap-up. Alright, I just finished searching through all the pennies that I set aside for errors, and I didn't find anything, so these are our 2 finds of the day. We didn't find anything in the nickels, but we did have a little luck in the pennies. So we got a 1952D and a 1953D penny, which are both wheat cents. And for going through 10 rolls, I feel like that's pretty good, because if we had a full box, I usually typically average about 8 to 10 wheat cents a box. And there's 50 rolls in a box, and we did 10 rolls, so 1/5. So 2 times 5 is 10. So we pretty much average what we normally would in a typical box. So overall, I feel like this was a pretty good hunt. Didn't get any book fillers or upgrades either, but that's alright. If you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing. I make content like this of coin roll hunts, and I also do other videos on some of the coins and bills in my coin collection. If you have any comments on anything in this video, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I try to respond to all the comments that I can, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.